So I mentioned that this is primarily a disease of older adults, and I'm just sharing with you the prevalence, how it increases with age. Roughly 3% of the population, this is an American study, about 3% between the ages of 65 and 74 have symptoms of Alzheimer's and other types of dementia. And I'm going to go into more detail about symptoms in a bit. In the age group 75 to 84, it's roughly 1 in 5. And then in what the demographers call the oldest old, age 85 plus, Marilee, your mother's fitting into this category, right?
101.
101, right?
Wow.
Roughly 1 in 3 has dementia. Okay? So you can see it's age related. It does occur earlier in life, but it is rare. Having said that, it is fairly common among people with Down syndrome, right? Alzheimer's disease, or AD, appears in people with Down syndrome 25 to 30 years earlier than the general population. It's almost as if their brains are aging prematurely, all right? And it's been estimated, there's really no solid studies, but based on a number of small studies, we know roughly 25% of the population of people with Down syndrome, age 40 and older, have symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Not to say that they've been diagnosed. Some of these folks are probably, below the radar screen. But then if you look at the population 60 and older, roughly 3/4 have symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Right? So this is a huge problem that didn't exist 40, 50 years ago, right? I mean, I grew up, I'm 66 years old, so I remember those very, very dark days when, and some of you know this story, right? That if a child was born with Down syndrome, what did the doctor recommend? Institutionalization, right? Now those days are pretty much over, right? And we've seen major advances in longevity among people with Down syndrome. It's mostly because of family members saying, listen, my loved one deserves a better way of life, right? And so kids with Down syndrome are going to school. Kids with Down syndrome are getting good health. Kids with Down syndrome are active in their communities. And lo and behold, they're not dying young anymore. They were dying young earlier because of a lack of proper education, proper housing, proper health care, okay? They were at a distinct disadvantage because of this crazy system that had evolved in American life, as well as in other cultures, right? So we've gotten, a little bit more enlightened, and it's resulted in longevity. And now this is the first generation, quite frankly, of people with Down syndrome who are living beyond the age of 50. Unfortunately, they're living to experience Alzheimer's disease, a good number of them. And unfortunately, we have not caught up as a society yet. The government is just beginning to recognize the severity of this problem, not only for families, but for professional care providers too. Okay? So based on my estimates, I think here in Illinois, we probably have between 3,000 and 4,000 men and women with Down syndrome today.